next big pod. We're going to go into Joshua and Klitschko in a bit more detail than we did last night. I think we've all rewatched it a few times. I've watched it 3 times now, and I've had different opinions each time. How many times have you watched it, Macho? Because you're a sad act like me. You've watched it a few times.
No, I've watched it once all the way through, and then just the sporadic highlights.
Well, I watched once. I watched it at the time. Then I watched it on a Showtime feed, but it was really choppy.
That's what I did. I watched the Showtime feed after.
I didn't really take much notice of it, and that Mora Ronaldo kept making me laugh with the stupid comments he'd make. So I watched it just before doing this. I watched it on a Russian feed with a commentary off, and I do this a lot when you watch a fight and you haven't got the commentary, it changes your opinion, I find.
Yeah, true. I mean, that's why I scored. That's why I thought Bradley beat Pacquiao, because I watched that fight without any commentary. So yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
they lead you down a path. If they've got a narrative, you just tend to follow him whether you agree or not. So there we go. Anyway, and then we're going to preview Canelo Chavez a little bit. My main man, Canelo, who TJ, if he's listening, said I got a crush on, which isn't true. I just like to watch him fight. What's wrong with that? But anyway, have you written any notes down for this match? Because I thought you said you was going to, or you did, or
I was going to, but then I didn't, so I haven't. So
all right. Well, where do you want to start then?
Hold on. I've just forgot. I need to say something.
Go on.
That cunt, he'll be listening. Boxing Analyst 1, who was the biggest maggot on Twitter. Because Pop sent me a tweet that he'd sent, basically saying that I was slagging off McCracken.
Robert Kraken,
I didn't. I said McCracken, the corner were a mess after Femi got dropped, which it was. So if you're going to try and fucking get wide, actually listen to what people are saying, you fucking mutant.
I quite like Boxing Analyst anyway. I think he's all right. So
I don't know him.
But anyway, as you were.
Right, go on, Macho. What have you picked up on from that you didn't see from the first time?
I'll try not to ramble. So
ramble all you want.
Or watching it live, I thought it was like the best thing I'd ever seen. Then watching it back, I was like, well, actually, it wasn't that great. And I think you've got to give credit to Eddie Hearn, because boxing or sport as a whole is always better when you're emotionally invested in what you're watching. And say what you want about Klitschko or AJ, especially AJ. I'm massively invested in watching him. We've all seen him from the Olympics all the way through the pro ranks. We've gone on that proverbial journey with him. And it's like the Roman Reigns thing, isn't it? If you love him or hate him, you want to watch him and you want to interact with him. So I was kind of, for the last couple of years, we've had a lot of shit that's been said about AJ, but this was the first time it's like, right, we're going to get to see him in a proper test now. We're going to get all these unanswered questions. They're about to be answered. So I was just fucking absolutely gripped. I was at the edge of my seat for the whole fight. But I don't know if I'll just quickly run through. Shall I just quickly run through the fight?
Yeah, go on.
So I thought 1 to 4 was fairly. There's not a lot going on there. I thought AJ was actually quite stiff and quite nervous. I don't subscribe to the fact that he won all those first 4 rounds. I thought it was pretty tight, pretty nip and tuck.
I've jotted a few things down, and I've put that he's very cagey by both of them in round 1. But Vlad's he's very good at controlling the range with his lead hand. Every time Femi comes to step in, Vlad just pops that out, and then it keeps the distance between the two of them.
Yeah, he's good at that. And what he does is, because his hands are so far away from his face, when you do try and launch a bit of offense against him, he's really good at just deflecting the shots. He just taps them away, and then because they're far away, they just miss the targets. I thought, don't get me wrong, AJ gave as good as he got, but it was nip and tuck. And again, I thought it was just the old man took centre of the ring, and it was fairly cagey for 4 rounds. I think I had it 3-1 or maybe 2-2 at the time. I haven't gone back over my scorecard, but I definitely don't think it was a 4-0 AJ after the first 4 rounds, but not a lot going on.
The one thing I haven't done is score it, and I'm probably not going to watch it a 4th time because it's not it's not that interesting after the 3rd time.
No, I think I had it 3-1 with one question mark round.
If I was to score it, from the many times I've seen it, I'd agree with you, or maybe even 4-0 to Vlad, because although they're both cagey and not doing a lot, Vlad's the boss in there. He's got centre ring,
isn't it?
Yeah, he's moving Femi where he. Someone in the chat said that we call him Femi, and as a disrespect, it's not. It's just kind of stuck now. It feels weird if I called him Joshua. So just address that.
Thing, yeah.
I'll just continue. Femi's easier to say, so I'll continue to say it. And if you don't like it, fuck off.
It's more fun to say as well. So
yeah, but I've got here in round 1. I've already done that. Round 2, there's just no head movement from Joshua. He doesn't do it. But the odd thing he was doing, and he didn't do this much he didn't carry it later on into the fight. He was changing levels just to give Wlad something different to look at. And then
you're breaking up again, loads.
Oh, fuck's sake!
No, you're fine. You're fine with me.
All right, cool. And it's just good. It's ring craft from Wlad, which is just a difference from him.
Yeah, he was just popping. He's popping out that jab, centre ring, and he's got that nice little shuffle back. He takes that little half a step back every time AJ tried to come forward, and yeah, and I thought a lot of AJ's offense, it was blocked and defended and parried. It probably looked better if he was in the crowd, but I definitely thought Wlad got the better of those first 4 rounds.
Well, in the third round, especially in the beginning, like the first 30 seconds to a minute, Femi's starting to load up straight away.
Yeah, he did it with the third round. He kind of almost, I wouldn't say he got his breakthrough, but in 3 and 4, he started to kind of commit to attacks a bit more and try and throw with a bit more power. But I still thought Wlad was doing really, really well. I thought he was under control. He was calm, and I thought AJ's shoulders, they looked stiff. He looked tight. He looked a little nervous. But they didn't show it during the ring
in
walk.
round 3, I've noted that he's starting to look a bit tired, like he's taking deeper breaths than he was in the first 2 rounds.
Well, I think I tweeted that. I think it was I was noticing round 2, he takes a deep breath when he throws combos. He kind of has to suck in some air. In round 3, I was like, round 3 and 4, I thought I really started to notice he was breathing quite heavy.
I don't know if that's like a frustration sort of deep breath when he can't hit him, whether he sort of resets himself by taking that deep breath in and just gathering his thoughts.
He was falling short. So, and this, to be fair, it's something he hasn't seen before. I mean, I know he was a bit wild at times against Brazil, but this was probably the first time that he was having difficulty closing the distance, and he was fighting someone as tall as him with just as long as range as him, and he also saw the reach, and he had to worry about the power as well.
Because against a turd like Brazil, he can quite happily miss and not worry that anything's coming back other than some sort of slow, ponderous punch from a big turd.
And I don't know what round it was. It was one of those first 4 rounds. He had a jab, quite a stiff jab, and his eyes, he was really blinking. And I was like, he felt that, he knew about it. It might have been round 3, actually. It was a real stiff, nice jab. And it definitely had an effect on him.
Well, in round 4, I've noted that Wlad, in the early part of the 4th round, Wlad starts to come out, and he's coming out with a bit of authority. He's looking to try and land something meaningful. And AJ's just really struggling to pinpoint him. He can't hit him with nothing. He tries to go to the body a few times, but Wlad seems to be in sort of like a nice rhythm now where he's quite happy, he's set.
Well, that was, I mean, we'll probably get on to that as we get further on, but I thought one of the differences in the fight was AJ definitely had the punch variation. He did work the body more, with Wlad, it's just fucking non-existent for me. It's like the body don't exist. Like, he doesn't ever seem to even think about the body at all.
Yeah,
it's quite bizarre.
A lot of these big guys, though, they're not known for the body punching, are they? Because like we said on the preview pod, I mean, if you miss, it's a long way to come back up.
Yeah, but you can feint down there. You can throw the odd hook. It doesn't really hurt. Just to give your opponent something to think about. If you throw one around or something, but he's got a misfire about doing it, so he's probably not bothered.
Well, that documentary on BBC, Road to Klitschko, whatever it was called, Joshua was very honest when he said like the body punches from Dillian Whyte was taking his soul, and that was his exact word. So you think, I don't know, maybe someone's going to try that again in the future.
Yeah, you'd think so. I mean, Dillian Whyte kind of showed that if AJ goes all guns blazing the first couple of rounds, he will gas, and he is susceptible to the body. So you've seen that from someone. So whether Wlad does it or not, you'd think his camp would say, look, there's not much to go on in terms of what AJ's weaknesses are, but the Dillian Whyte fight, there is a clear sign that he is susceptible to shots to the body. So I was surprised that he didn't use any, to be honest.
Right, well, let's get on to the first round that anything sort of caught fire, round 5. Wlad was sort of more bundled down than knocked down.
Yeah, I agree. That was my
he wasn't hurt. He wasn't hurt at all, and Femi went in for the kill when it wasn't there for him.
No, I mean, what I noticed about... Go on.
I think he was hurt, but he wasn't like...
He wasn't seriously hurt.
He was more stunned than hurt, I think.
His legs was under him straight away. He was up early. He looked clear-eyed to me, judging from the TV. He was still bouncing on his toes. He wasn't... He didn't visibly look hurt or ready to be taken out.
I don't think he did. What I've noticed about round 5 was I thought, as I mentioned before, like AJ's kind of that seek and destroy fighter. Sniffs blood and he goes for the kill. He was frustrated in the first 4 rounds, and it looked like round 5 he was sent out to just up the pace a little bit, and he just thought, fuck it, let's have a throwdown. And he definitely kind of mauled Wlad to the ground. And I didn't notice at the time because I think I had my head in my hands. And when he did drop him, I didn't notice that he was celebrating, had his hands in the air. And I'm not sure whether he didn't expect, whether he thought that was it. It was game over. And he looked a bit shocked, I thought, watching it back when Wlad got up and didn't really know what to do. He's just like running around after the ring. But I thought, like, running around after Wlad. But I thought Wlad looked quite good. He was still on his toes when he got up. He was bouncing around the ring. He showed good survival instincts. And well, after that, I mean, AJ just shot his load. I actually thought that the fifth round, the end of the fifth round, the last minute of the fifth round was when AJ was at his most vulnerable. That was the time where I thought he was more likely to be stopped in that round than he was in round 6. I don't know what you guys think.
I agree, and this is what started to annoy me, because this is when Wlad is just leading up with a left hook. Just everything left hook, left hook, left hook. And I'm thinking, throw a fucking right, will you?
Yeah, well, in round 5, he hit him with a couple of short, I think it was probably 4 or 5 left hooks he hit him with. When AJ started to tire, he started to find a home for the left hook. And then like that, there was kind of like short, sharp shots he was finding, and then he just started to load up with them, and started to swing wildly, and he was just lobbing right hands forward. And when you watched AJ, I mean, he was done. His hands were down. He slumped back on the ropes. He was really breathing heavy, and I was like, this is a chance to finish him.
I've put down here as well. Like when the final bell went, the camera just panned to AJ, and he looked beaten at that point. Like he looked dejected walking back to the ring. He looked knackered and ready to be taken out.
Well, from his point of view, he's had 4 rounds of frustration where he couldn't close the distance. He couldn't land a lot. He had that jab to contend with in his face. He's launched an all-out attack on Wlad, and he's probably bought into the hype that Vlad's got no chin. He's bundled him down, and then all of a sudden, fuck me, he's got up. And there was 2.5 minutes left of round 5 when he went down. He survived that round, turned it around. I don't think you have to score that 10-9 to AJ. I don't see how you can score that 10-8.
No, it's not a 10-8.
One judge did score it a 10-9 round, actually.
Only the one?
Yeah, and that was a judge that had Femi winning by 6 rounds, so he don't really count. But yeah, one judge definitely scored it. Of the one who had it 90, is it 96, 93 or 97, 92, whatever it was, one of the judges that had it wide definitely had it as a 10-9 round.
Yeah, Donny's dad, weren't it? Casual.
That's what you get with the asylum. That's what you get. Bad scores. Right, anyway, round 6.
Yeah, round 6. I mean, when I first watched it, again, because I was jumping around my living room like a fucking loon, when he hit him with the right hand, I didn't see that he followed up with a cheeky left hook. But I still think if Wlad commits to, say he commits to a combo, like a right hand, left hook, or he just commits to any sort of 3-punch combo, not just throw the right hand and just stay, he might have got Femi out of there. But it was a cracking shot. And this is what I was saying before, that like the left hook, everyone was talking about the left hook, but I always thought the straight right was a shot. And it was almost a bit like the Groves Foch knockout, wasn't it? He kind of sort of tapped him with the left hand and just absolutely drilled him with the right.
Yeah, like a throwaway left hand, just to... Yeah. I put on here that Femi's folded like a chair, but up pretty much straight away, which impressed me. On watching it back, I thought, fair play. That shot there, it's put a lot of people out and kept him out. But he got back up, and even Femi, he wasn't... When he got back up, he wasn't out on his feet. He looked like he still had something there. He wasn't a dead man walking, if you know what I mean. No,
I thought he showed. I have to give him credit because the questions that we'll probably get to these after, about in terms of his chin and can he deal with adversity. I thought he survived that really well. I think he showed good upper body movement. He showed good survival instincts, and I do think though that Wlad made it easy for him because he was just throwing left hooks and
they must have worked on the left hooks in his training camp because every single one he spotted and ducked. Pretty much every single one in that round.
Yeah, but that's because they've seen what everyone else has seen, and that Femi was open to left hooks. That's all that'll be from.
Yeah, I know, but like you can practice. You can
left hook, throw the right hand.
Yeah, but I just thought it was impressive. Like Wlad was telegraphing him a bit and leaving the floor as he does, but still, when you're not fully there mentally, when you've just been knocked down, to still avoid him is pretty decent of him.
Yeah. Like we give him a bit of an amateurish attack by Wlad. To be honest, I was surprised that someone of his experience decided to throw single shots. He was either throwing lead right hands or left hooks, and they weren't getting there. And you're just like, mate, just relax. I mean, round 5 probably took a shitload out of Wlad as well, but I'm surprised watching it back again how kind of sloppy he was in that attack, because at first I thought he kind of didn't do anything, but he actually did. He actually did throw punches, but it was just the wrong sort of punches.
I had a thought then, but it's just left me. What was I going to say?
Sorry.
That's all right. Oh, the spitting out of the guard.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was quite a clever, not necessarily what you should be doing, but a clever move when you're tired. A lot of them have done it, and it just buys you a few seconds. I don't agree with it, but it's like a veteran move, so to speak. So, again, fair play to him.
You normally see some of the tape come off. I'm sure the corner do that deliberately. They'll just nip a bit of the tape off the gloves or something, or they'll undo a shoelace, just something, just to see you through the round and give you those 10, 15 seconds. But yeah, I agree with you. He definitely spat that gum shield out. I know it gave Wlad some time, but he definitely gave AJ time to recover. And you got to give him credit because we'd never seen him tested. He showed good survival instincts, and whether it was pretty or not, he managed to navigate that round against that hard punching, dangerous opponent.
Right, round 7 then. I've only noted down that Femi looks very cautious. He doesn't want to get hit again. And Vlad's firmly back in charge, centre ring, jab popping out, just winning the round.
I've got 7, 8, 9, 10 kind of all grouped together, as in
so
the story of those 4 rounds were, again, Wlad taking centre ring. He was up early. He was off his stall early at the start of every round, straight in the middle of the ring. He was trying to establish his jab. It was probably like classic, this is how you pace a 12-round fight as a heavyweight, working behind his jab. AJ it was all about, I'm not throwing any shots, I'm not getting hit, I'm just trying to get my feet back under me and just trying to survive and get that second wind. I mean, 7 and 10, he got hit, I think it was 9 or 10.
It was a 10th round.
A big right hand, but it was just single shots again. And he took it well, to be fair. But
I put in here in one of these rounds that Vlad's just happy that a chance will present itself again. He's not trying to force the issue. He's sort of just seeing and waiting it out.
He said after, didn't he, that he was really calm. He thought AJ was done. He was relaxed. He was enjoying it. And he thought it was just a matter of time, which I couldn't really blame him for. But then I do think, mate, you're really experienced. You've had, 358 rounds of boxing in your pro career. And I know he's only had 44 rounds and you've taken him into uncharted waters, like past the 7th. But he's a dangerous finisher. He's a very good finisher, AJ. I think it was a mistake to just think he was, as you say, the opening would just come. But he clearly thought that AJ had nothing left and it was just a matter of time.
Well, I've put on here round 9 that AJ doesn't appear to be that tired anymore. He's not a good mover anyway, but he's starting to move decently again without looking ponderous and slow. He's got a bit of bounce in him.
He was probably quite surprised, and I'm sure Rob McCracken, MBE, was quite surprised as well that Wlad gave him the opportunity just to survive those 6 minutes, around 7 and 8, and get himself back into it. But yeah, comes 9 and 10, he starts to edge back into the fight. And I think some of the commentators in the first one that were saying that AJ was winning those rounds, and he wasn't. He was just not doing he was doing more than he did in the 7 and 8. Because 7 and 8, he practically didn't do anything, did he?
No, nothing. He was just getting some wind back in him, which he shouldn't have been allowed to do. But there we go. Round 10, I've got on here that Vlad's the one who's starting to tire now, and the clinches are getting more frequent. There's a big shot by him, which is the big right hand, but there's no follow-up at all. And Femi's visibly hurt. He goes back to his heels and he dips a bit and there's nothing.
Yeah, there was. I mean, I read on Twitter, people were saying that he took that right hand really well. I mean, having watched it, he did take it well, but it hurt him. He was definitely hurt. But Bellew said I think it was the end of round 10 that Wlad was done. I didn't think he was. You could tell that he was slowing down, but I still thought he was fully in control. But I do remember saying to my missus that I was a bit worried that he's letting. You could see the story again. It's like it's a really good story. The whole fight. You could definitely see AJ slowly creeping back into it and probably getting a bit of confidence as well.
Where have I put that? Right, round 11 then, the round where it all ended, unfortunately for all of us lot. It's the first time since round 5 that I put down that it's the first time since round 5 that Joshua's been proactive, not reactive to anything Vlad's done. He went out and he forced the issue. He wasn't waiting for Wlad. He wasn't on the back foot or he wasn't being bossed about. He went out there as a bull.
Didn't hear any corner work. Did you? The only corner work I heard was McCracken cheerleading in one of the rounds, but I'm assuming. I mean, would his camp? I thought he was losing on points, and obviously he was going to rob Wlad come what may. But do we? Think I listened to say go out and start working. You could lose this.
I listened to Bunce and Costello podcast today, and Steve Bunce said when he was interviewing Joshua after, Joshua said to McCracken and his team, "Am I winning?" or "What's the score?" And they didn't say nothing. And he asked again, and they didn't say nothing. So he thought, "Oh, obviously can't be good." So that in his idea, he went out and thought, "I got to fucking stop this now."
Do you know what? I mean, again, you can't. As much as we have given Femi a load of grief, I mean, you can't have nothing but respect for that. For taking matters into his own hands and going, "Well, fuck this, I'm going to go and fucking close the show then."
Well, when he's away from Sky, I kind of like the guy, to be fair. It's only when Sky give you the narrative like he's the next Ali, Foreman, Fraser all rolled into one. But when someone like Bunce interviews him or someone away from Sky, you kind of just get like a normal guy who knows he ain't the greatest thing since sliced bread. He was just trying to learn on the
I
job.
agree. That BBC documentary was the best bit of fucking PR that he's ever had. And
Yeah.
I thought that was a real good documentary. I've seen some people give him a stick, but I really like the fact he had that. I mean, I like Entourage, like the program, and I kind of like the fact he's got his little crew with him. They're all his mates from fucking school. He's got his tight crew around him. They all travel together. They go on holiday together. And, you know, he was talking about, you know, as you said, he openly said, you know, what was killing me to the body. He said about Brazil, he was going, I couldn't believe he just wouldn't go down. Like, I was starting to tire because he just wouldn't go down. And you started to see a lot more just of like a normal bloke as opposed to this destroyer and this humble fucking wannabe billionaire that Sky like to fucking promote.
Yeah, that's just Steve Kim. I don't like agreeing with Steve Kim because he's a dickhead, but he said on one of them Leave It in the Rings a few weeks back that when a promoter gets an exclusive contract with a fighter or promoter, when a network gets an exclusive contract with a promoter or fighter, then they sort of de facto become a promoter as well, and then everything they say you have to take with a pinch of salt.
Well, yeah,
which is true, especially with Sky.
Yeah,
they're just definitely. Sky's just a pure PR machine, and if you're casual, then you just fall into the trap, believe what they say because you think they know more than you. But if you know a little bit about a sport, you just know for yourself, don't you? And if you watch enough of anything, you get a feel for what the true story is. You don't need to be told anymore.
No, just remind me about that promotion because I've got a question for you guys. Once we sort of break the fight down after a couple of questions about promotions and a few bits and pieces after.
But what I think is funny though,
Ainsley, will you send TJ the link? Just DM him or something.
Yeah.
What was you saying, mate? Before I interrupted you,
I think it's funny how like loads of people were saying that you got to see Femi's chin get fucking checked and this, that, and the other, and then now it has. Everyone's like, oh, he's being fucking. His flaws are on show. It's like, well, every single fighter in the world has got flaws. Like,
of course, like the best heavyweight of the last sort of 25 years, Lennox Lewis, he got dropped and knocked out, and these things happen, especially up there. They're not chinny. They're just. If you're getting hit by someone who's 18 stone, you're gonna wobble or you're gonna drop. It's how you deal with it.
I still think my biggest takeaway from that fight wasn't the chin as much because that stood up. But for me, one of the big things was AJ's power.
Dewey wants on as well. Will you send Dewey the link as well?
I don't think his power is anything. We questioned his power beforehand, but I definitely think having watched that it's definitely not what they think it is, or it's definitely overstated. Definitely.
Of course.
It's not what everyone's been making out, but it's not shit.
No, it's not shit. You know what it is?
No, but again, he's an 18 stone. He's an 18 stone lump, and he's going to be able to hit. He's not feather fisted, and he's never going to be at that size. Like
I'm going to call him out because we never do.
He's not. Although I know you hate David Price, but and I know he was knocking over bums, but the way he was dropping them bums. Was not like Femi. Femi's a volume puncher. He goes into like a bulldozer mode, and when he's in that mode,
kill. That's what he is.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very hard for anyone to deal with it. But I'm sure people will be able to. Right. Anyway, carry on with it. Carry on with this then.
Just very quickly, I just want to get to the uppercut. Go on. Sorry, Ainsley, you want to say something? You want to call someone out?
Oh, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, it's Dave Allen and shit. He's always like, oh, fucking Fury, it's a million times harder than AJ, blah, 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 blah. He might do, but Fury has got absolutely no fucking sense of how to finish a guy. None at all.
No, that's not. Anyway, we'll get to him later because I'm going to ban talk of him until he's got a fight signed.
Oh, good.
Right, so anyway, I don't know how the hell Wlad stayed up from that uppercut. I really don't.
Well, the uppercut, I want to. You've got to give Rob McCracken MBE credit for a couple of things. A, working on the defence, AJ defending that left hook, and also that uppercut wasn't a random shot. He threw that shot a few times, right, and he also threw body work. So he definitely worked on how to counter Wlad's clinch. When Wlad goes into a clinch, I think 3 or 4 times he threw that shot, and he caught Wlad. You said in round 10 he was started to get tired, started to clinch more. So there must have been instruction to keep throwing that uppercut, and Wlad come in for like a lazy clinch, and Jesus Christ, I mean, what a shot! But again, Wlad stood there, and he still took more shots, and that uppercut was fucking brutal.
Yeah, and he panicked in this round, but I can sort of understand why, because the barrage was much more sustained than it was in the fifth.
Yeah, I mean, and to be fair, he kind of still had his toes about it. When I watched it again, I was surprised that once he got hit, and even once he got dropped, or even after the uppercut, he was massively hurt, but he still tried to, gather his senses. But AJ, he is an elite finisher. It's not tidy. I mean, it's not as wild as a Deontay Wilder, but once you get someone's hurt, you're going to do well to survive.
The second knockdown, he was sort of chopped down like a tree, and the way he fell was like a lumberjack chopping down a bit of tree. Just went back on his heels and then fucked down.
What do you think of the stoppage? Because now
I thought it was soft, but it was inevitable what was happening.
Yeah.
I don't think it was that bad. I think
it wasn't bad, but the shots weren't really landing, and the ref wasn't in a good position to see. But I've got no problem with it because, he was in a position where he couldn't throw back. So I suppose again you could say stop it, but he wasn't taking clean shots, and it was inevitable what was happening. So
also shout out to the ref because I thought he understood the magnitude of the event. He didn't do anything stupid. There was 4 knockdowns in that fight. And he gave each guy every chance. Probably maybe too much time to kind of get up and fight on. I thought he did really well.
I've seen people say that he gave Wlad too much time, but I disagree. Femi came in too early, and he was sort of inches away from Wlad again, so the ref rightly pushed him back to the corner.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have expected to see that in a home fight at Wembley Stadium with AJ being the home fighter. So yeah, it might have been the right rules, but I still thought the ref did really well actually for all those knockdowns.
Yeah, we're quick enough to slate someone like Terry O'Connor when they fuck up. But when we get a good ref performance, I think we should say
we are giving him credit.
Yeah. That's what I mean. So it should be noted. I didn't notice him for 10.5 rounds of the fight, really.
No, he done well. Was that his first world title fight or something? Or
first heavyweight world title fight.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
No, he done well. He done really. I wanted, what's his name? Steve Willis, whatever his name is. He would have been awesome. Imagine his facial expressions in that fight. It would have been incredible.
That would have given him an orgasm, that, wouldn't it?
Oh, what a shot. That was just incredible.
TJ, have you got any thoughts on it? Have you rewatched it since, or?
I haven't rewatched it since, but I think in the last couple of rounds we got to hear what McCracken was saying in the corner, and he was playing on Wlad's age. He was really talking, getting Joshua back in the zone, really talking him up, playing on the fact that Wlad was 41 and tired, and then I think that's what brought Joshua out and was just like, fuck it, I'm going to knock him out.
I didn't hear any of the corner work, so I can't comment, but if he did, then that's quite a good strategy. Because no one wants to be beat by an old man, do they? And I know before the fight he was saying that he thought old Father Time had already arrived and stuff, so maybe it might have been a bit of a shock to them both that Wlad clearly wasn't completely shot to shit.
Carl, here's a question for you and everyone else. I want everyone's views on this. You said a couple of weeks ago, Wlad's definitely over the hill. It just depends how far down the hill he is. I haven't seen it. What do you think? And what does everyone else think?
I think the Wlad that David A couldn't lay a glove on is the best Wlad I can recall seeing. And since then, he's put in a few subpar performances. The Jennings one was the first time I thought,
yeah, he was not good.
You're not what you were. The Pulev fight, he was very good, but Pulev made him be very good because he was aggressive. If Pulev would have just sat on the back foot, then Wlad would have probably just bored his way to a 12-round decision or a late stoppage. It's hard to say. I would like to see Wlad fight again, but not against Joshua, just for selfish reasons, so then I can know where I can grade it. Because it could be the same, and I don't want to use punch stats, but how many more punches did he throw? Like 20 more than he did in the Fury fight?
Yeah, but it's the power punches that the difference. So it's...
Yeah, but then he was allowed to get them off. We're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, but still,
no, we're not.
Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, we're not. But you've just contradicted your own fucking point, basically. So just move it on. Like that's a first. You literally contradicted your own point in the same sentence. So just move it on.
Go on. Go on. We'll have this out then.
Like, have you seen the fucking? You've obviously seen when he was against Fury. It wasn't that he weren't able to get him off. He was literally throwing shots and pulling out of him against Fury. It's not that he's just been able to land him. They were there to fucking be thrown against Fury, but he just wasn't. It's not like Fury's some fucking defensive wizard, defensive puzzle like Jason Gavin.
He's not Jason Gavin, yeah.
Your hate for him is unreal, you ought to. It actually makes me laugh a little bit. Some big Jippo is 24 stone. You absolutely despise him.
No, it's a fucking drug cheat.
Oh, they all are, aren't they? It's just the dumb ones who get caught. Right, anyway, we're not going to talk about Fury because he's being banned. Go on, what was you going to say? Have your last point and then we're banning it.
No, I was just going to say that I still think, I've only seen the fight once and that was only fucking fun, but I just still think that Wlad was mentally shot. He comes across as a really nice guy. He's probably the sort of guy that if you said, "Oh mate, you've got a shit haircut," he'll start crying. He's probably really easily offended. And I just think that Fury just fucked him up in the head. I think he won that fight pretty much out the ring as well as inside the ring.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. But like I was saying, I'd like to see him fight again, maybe against a Parker or a Wilder. Although I think he would beat both based on that performance, just so you can see where he actually is, because that could be just the.
So where are we with the rematch then? Who wants it? Who doesn't want it?
I don't want to. I don't really care for it because you get the same result the quicker. But if it happens, then I'll not moan too much because it's still Wlad in it, and he's still better than most.
TJ, Ainsley, rematch.
I'd watch it again.
I think I'd like to see it. I'm well on the Joshua hype train. I'd like to see it in Germany, and I'd like to see Joshua take Wlad out in Germany because I think that would be.
There's no way he's going to Germany for that. Not a chance. Just
depends how much money K2 brings to the table, doesn't it?
I don't think I'd be. I think. Well, I don't know. I don't think he's going to get out of there. I sort of do want to see it, and I don't. I was saying this on Twitter earlier. Like, how many fights have we seen where going into the 11th round, all 4 options are on the table? Like, anyone could have won by points, anyone could have won by stoppage. Everything was still on the line. And I kind of think if you could hit a reset button and go reset, fight again as of Saturday, the fight wouldn't have ended the same way. It probably would have gone down a completely different path. So part of me thinks if they fight 2 or 3 times, you'd probably get a different outcome. But the problem is, it's another 6 months of Wlad potentially. It's another training camp. It's another, it's another year before he's 42 again. And that fight would have taken a lot out of him. So I kind of want to see it again, but I'm worried like you, Carby. I think that AJ's going to be much better after having had this fight, whereas how much better could Wlad get?
Well, he can't get any better, can he?
I wouldn't have thought so.
Before, how long do you think it would be? How old is he now? Is he just 41 or
just 41?
Just 41. So he'd be the wrong side of 41 then.
Well, the thing is, if they do it, I think they've got to do it quickly by September.
He's got that bad cut mind, doesn't he?
But do they run the risk of being stripped? Do they, if they were to go the rematch route, the fact that Joshua was defending?
Listen,
do they run the risk of being
he's bigger than the belts now. I know that's not what you want to hear, or
Joshua ain't getting stripped anytime soon.
No,
don't worry about that. Do not worry about that. Fury got stripped because he's a fucking idiot.
No.
And he's got the
that's not true. You know that's not true. He got stripped because Kathy Duver and Hearn was in the IBF's ears about the Glasscock fight.
He got stripped because they didn't want their name associated with Fury. That's why he got stripped. He didn't get stripped.
He got stripped because he thought Fat Mick was a fucking decent promoter and could do a decent job.
Let's be fair, the IBF, they're not. Are they really going to go? Oh, AJ. I mean, let's be fair. He's a stadium fight now. I don't think we'll ever see him at the O2 again. He's probably nothing but stadium fights from now on. Are they going to go? I'll tell you what. Sorry, AJ. Sorry, Mr. Hearn. But we're going to give it to Pulev to fight whatever bum. I mean.
Yeah, no. But Hearn's in bed with the WBA and the IBF. So both of the cunts he's always fucking bumming about with, they're the 2 belts. Nothing's going to happen.
Would Hearn dare do Joshua Shannon Briggs?
Yes.
Yeah, what I said, I think what's going to happen, WBA are now going to fucking say that the winner of Briggs or Quenda has got to fight Ortiz for a proper final eliminator. That's what they're going to say at some point soon.
What would be the combined age in the ring then with Briggs and Ortiz?
About
over 100, you reckon, with Ortiz's age? It couldn't be far off.
No, Ortiz's age is in dog years.
Well, he looks like it. What do you want next then, Macho? What would you be happy with?
I think Pulev's fine. I don't know why everyone's gay about it.
Yeah, Pulev's fine.
They've got the Millennium in it. I think Pulev and the Millennium. That's what they'll do. They'll do a little road trip. They'll probably do that maybe back end of this year, and then they might even do like Old Trafford, go outdoors at Old Trafford as well next summer. Try and take him around the country.
Well, apparently it's been a world tour. Because that's what I've seen.
Yeah, they've said they want to go to China and stuff, haven't they? Like that bird's nest. But Barry Hearn said that for ages. I remember seeing an interview with that after like the Gary Cornish fight that they're already talking about going there.
I remember that as well, yeah.
Just take a look at fucking Chris Eubank's World Tour under the barrier.
They're not going. They don't need to go. They don't need to do that. They ain't going nowhere. I don't think.
What's that big stadium in North Korea? I mean, he's that old, like 130,000
in
Yeah,
North Korea, yeah.
Yeah, massive.
It's the biggest one on the planet.
Didn't WCW do a show there once?
I wouldn't have thought so.
No, I swear they did.
Yeah, but
Maybe
that's
they
where
did.
they execute people with a fucking
In North Korea
and shit, innit?
Yeah, with it was some peace thing that they did with what's his name, Antonio Inoki. Is that his name?
Yeah, Anoki was the guy from. He was a Japanese guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, Google it because I swear they did 2 shows or something. I remember reading this somewhere quite a while ago.
It now. WCW.
They did. It was some Japanese, North Korean sort of like peace thing, and they did
Collision in
WCW
Korea.
and New Japan Pro Wrestling in Korea. So there's a
Pyongyang. They had 165,000
Korea, yeah.
on the first day and 190 on the second. Yeah.
See, they could take Femi over there, get 200,000 there.
Can you imagine that if they did that? What's the general consensus then? What he's going to do next? They did it well. For me, Ric Flair describes wrestling North Korea in front of 190,000 people. It's incredible. Anyway, go on, carry on.
Well, I don't mind Pulev, I don't mind Ortiz, and I don't really mind the Wlad rematch, but I think with 2 of them, the result is a foregone conclusion.
Because I think Hearn has said, and I don't believe him for a second, that he's only going to fight twice a year. I don't think because I still think Femi's gone as of like November when that matchroom contract's up. I'd be surprised if he signs another. So if you're Hearn, you want him fighting 3 times a year.
You reckon it is?
No, it's next year, November next year.
Yeah, because McCracken said that on BBC 5 Live this morning there are 17 months to run on it, and he wasn't exactly committal either way on whether or not.
I'm telling you now, there is no chance that Femi re-signs with Hearn unless he gets some absolutely ridiculous deal.
The thing is, he's been putting that team together around him for quite a while. Like with
he
the
knows what he's
branding and
doing.
the marketing, he doesn't. He's got the bankroll now. He doesn't really need.
Did you see what Hearn said though after he'd been with him for like a year? He said that Femi just kept coming into the office and basically asking him, right, how are you sorting all this out, and like, what do you do for shows, this, that, and the other?
Oh yeah, he's been learning. He's been learning for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting in that interview with McCracken. He went on record.
Sorry, TJ, can you just address him as Rob McCracken MBE, please?
No. On record as saying that McCracken chooses the fights, so it's not up to Hearn. It's not up to Joshua. You know, it's McCracken that is, you know, marshalling the career and the route to whatever fights it is. And I bet that really was a kick in the balls for Hearn to know that, to have someone say that he's not the one calling the shots.
TJ, not a popular opinion to give Hearn credit, but do we think he deserves to be fucking shunted out? Because say what you want, in terms of promotion, he's done an incredible job with AJ.
Yeah, but
would it be that hard?
No, it isn't. It's not. Because honestly, Femi is just the fucking marketing dream, really, and let's be fucking right.
Yeah. It's Sky.
He looks
the part. Sky credit.
Yeah, but like Femi though, he's not that hard. He looks the part. He's been fucking media trained to within an inch of his life. And I know he's fighting shit, but to the untrained eye, everything that he does looks like it's fucking unbelievable.
Well, the thing is, they don't need Hearn on IFL now saying, "Oh, you must tune in," because every cunt's going to fucking tune in now, no matter what.
If you look at all the big names over sort of the recent history, they always fuck off the promoter in the end. Like Oscar did it to Bob, then Floyd did it to Bob.
Prince Hatton did it to Hatton.
Yeah, Hatton did it to Warren, and then Hatton did it to Hobson and went by himself today. And
but honestly, right, like if Femi fucks Hearn off, Hearn's going to be fucked.
Well, the thing is,
I reckon Femi props up quite a few Hearn shows, like not the ones that he's on, but I mean from that pay-per-view, that'll prop up some of fucking Hearn shitty shows now, like the Birmingham ones and shit like that. Because Hearn don't want to fucking...
All his supporting cast are coming to the same sort of age now, aren't they? Whereas Bellu's only got a few fights in him. I can't imagine Kell Brook's going to go on for much longer.
Yeah, they're all... the thing is...
could be retiring this month.
Hopefully.
And they're all co-promotions as well. You know, Hearn doesn't seem to be capable or have the clout, even with AJ, to put on these fights, on these cards, on single-handedly anymore, which I think is going to further down the line. That's going to really tell if Joshua's, because this is a K2 was a K2 co-promotion. Bellew Hay was a ring star co-promotion. Kell Brook's name's on the poster for Spence as a promoter.
Frampton.
So Quigg Frampton was a co-promoter. So the more and more we see that he's not putting them on single-handedly. So
what about
I wouldn't be surprised if Joshua went solo, if Hearn just said, you know what, fuck it.
What about the logistics of putting on a big show like that? I mean, let's be fair, that can't be easy to put that on. So Matchroom clearly know what they're doing. So I think they'd probably be retained in like an advisory role. I don't think it would just say to Hearn, right, fuck off, we're never going to use you again, because let's be fair to them. I mean, putting on a big fucking show at Wembley, that's not going to be as easy as we think. But yeah, I would be surprised if he signs again. I don't know whether, I mean, Hearn's got that 5-year deal. I don't know how long that's got to run, but you almost think that by the time Femi comes to the end, Kell Brook, Bellew, if he doesn't have a really good crop coming through to take over, potentially he could just fuck off at the end of that. It almost comes to that 5-year Sky deal would almost end the same time as all his main sort of stars. So he's got to start building now.
Yeah, but he can't.
And he's missing opportunities to do that. I still haven't got any clarity over why Josh Kelly and O'Kelly didn't fight on the undercard. What was that all about? These are the perfect.
He's claimed. Josh Kelly's claimed an injury, and Booth pulled him out.
Probably got bumped.
Yeah,
because
got bumped off because Quigg overran.
These are the perfect opportunities
he's been
to
mugged
be
off twice already now. O'Coley. So
yeah, if you're O'Coley and you're looking at it thinking I can't be that important because once I didn't make the TV, the other time I was bumped off, and the other one was just a 1-round blowout. So in my 3 supposedly slated fights, you've only actually seen me once.
Yeah, and it goes back to what Matcha was saying earlier. He's building these fights, but he's going to run out of opportunities to build these fighters if he's losing the likes of Joshua and Brook hasn't got many years left in him. He's losing the opportunity to put these fighters in the shop window by dropping them or cut, and then putting Katie Taylor on undercards. I was at work today, and controversially or not, someone said, "Why the hell was Katie Taylor, on the card?" And the others weren't. I don't know if Cordina got on TV, but
he did.
O'Coley wasn't, and Josh Kelly weren't. So I think it's all a money grab, and we know that. I think that's 100% come to fruition. I think put Kate Taylor in the shop window, take it to Dublin, sell out, and then get her a world title, and then probably that's about it. As far as I'll take it.
He's going to regret not getting Conlon. He needed that signing.
He said he wasn't interested though, didn't he?
But then he got to put Ryan Burnett on net in Belfast.
That's Northern Ireland, not Ireland. Though that's a different market, mate. Don't get confused.
But is it?
Yeah.
As well,
but when you
on those 3 Olympians, I have to say that I do think Hearn set quite a good foundation there, because I'm a super casual when it comes to amateurs, and I mean super casual. But I already know that, like Josh Kelly, he's the pretty boy, he's the flash one. He's gonna not sure he's gonna be entertaining fights, but some of his rounds are gonna be entertaining because he does, unorthodox moves in the ring. Is Cordina the one that's had like 875,000 amateur fights?
He's the Welsh one. So Dewey, I'll tell you all about him if you want to.
He's like the move.
Cordina,
he's the hardcore. And
I've seen Cordina.
Very light.
I've seen Cordina a few weeks ago, and I didn't think he looked all that great.
No, but
O'Coley is on the path, on the Femi path.
Well, exactly. That's what I mean. So he's already set that foundation. We know nothing about. I know nothing about him, but I already know enough about him to make me kind of think, I might watch them. So I wouldn't rule out Hearn turning one of them into a fucking big name.
But I could see when Femi fucks off, I can see 2 or 3 of these lot coming along with him.
Yeah, that's a good shot.
And I'll tell you now, when Femi goes, I'll just, as a guess, I think Luke Campbell's getting beat this year and probably get beat into retirement. Just a side note. I think he'll take a Coley. And who was the other one? I forgot now.
Well, none of them signed Buatsi yet, have they?
That's a big risk. That's a big risk going to someone like Femi. I mean, you stay with Hearn, you do a couple of years, and then you wait for Femi to get established. I think that's a big risk for a young Olympian to go and jumping
Yeah,
into
but he
deep end.
won't. He won't though, because if you think Femi's contract's up, say October next year, he's not going to announce anything until early 2019. By which time these guys have already got a few fights under the belt. They've got their name out a bit, and piggybacking off of Joshua is not a bad place to be, which is why loads of people went with Oscar. Because that
yeah, that's a good point. I'm not writing Hearn off though yet because I think he'll find a way if he wants to.
He'll just quit. That's all they're quitters.
Any last thoughts on Joshua Klitschko before we move on to the biggest super fight going this year? My boy Canelo.
People should just stop moaning about Joshua and stop fucking comparing Joshua and Fury against Wlad. 2 different fights, 2 different Vlads, 2 different styles.
All I'd say quickly on the last fight,
test.
if I was Matchroom, I'd start promoting the fuck out of his vulnerabilities because at the minute he's promoted as this destroyer that destroys everyone. But what for me makes him an exciting fighter is he's at his most vulnerable when he's at his most dangerous. So I think if they start promoting those vulnerabilities as well and saying, look, he can actually lose or he could actually win, if that makes sense, and that sounds fucking stupid. I think they could take him to a fucking even bigger level than he's already at.
So I said it on the Saturday after when we did the pod after that, but I can't remember the exact quote. But Larry Merchant said something along them lines like, "Fighters need to be frail if they're going to be true box office because then there's always the risk."
He is that. I mean, you can see like he survived an onslaught from AJ, and you've got opportunities.
You've got a few rounds in there anyway. You can jump on him and see what you get.
Yeah.
Hearn did say on that Bunsen Costello podcast that he said himself, and I was surprised he said this, that he was exposed at times. AJ was.
He was,
which is unusual for him to say because the other times we've seen him look a bit confused or you can pick holes in it. He said one was against White, you wanted to smash him up.
Expose is a very, very, very strong term to use. I don't think it's the right term.
No, I didn't say he was exposed. This is Hearn. So
yeah, well, Hearn talks shit anyway. But I mean, a lot of people are using it. But if I'd been exposed but still managed twice, a guy would not be nice for fucking.
No, but his vulnerabilities were laid bare for all to see now. And again, if they're clever,
that's not being exposed though. Like,
well, it is. His vulnerabilities have been exposed now. I mean, we kind of talked about it after the Dylan White fight, but they're there for everyone to see now, aren't they? We know what they are. You know what you've got to do to get success against AJ. I still think
exposed's a bit of a fucking.
Well, what would you call it then?
I don't know.
Laid bare.
What?
Like he's been laid bare. You can see what he is now.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. You're getting a more fucking rounded view of what he is. It's not that he's been exposed.
He's just vulnerable. His vulnerabilities have been shown. That's all.
His vulnerabilities have been exposed.
So his vulnerabilities have been exposed.
He's not been exposed though. There's a very different meaning to it.
Fine, then he's not been fully exposed. He's only been partially exposed. But if his deal runs out November 2018 with Matchroom, let's say he fights 3 times between now and then. Let's map out those 3 fights. If he's going to fight twice a year, and assume he fights once more later this year and twice before November next year, what do you think those fights will be?
They'll be wilder in there.
Pulev Ortiz. Actually, maybe Parker.
I think he's going to fight White in now. So at some point, I definitely think he's going to fight White. I think so. I think that's Hearn would love that fight. I think especially if he picks up a title along the way.
Marius White's going to beat a White.
Yes, Carl.
Now then, how's it going?
Would you say he was exposed?
Pick up a title.
No, of course he wasn't exposed. He's just stamina, that's it. I don't think he's even got a bad chin. He was just fucking knackered, like he was against Dillian White when he got hit and hurt a bit. I think it's all about his stamina. Like, he showed a good fucking chin to get up from that. He got hit by a couple of other ones. He got hit earlier in 3rd round by an even bigger one, and he took it quite well right at the start of the round. He just come out and hit him, and then I think he's got a decent chin. Nothing to be exposed, I wouldn't say. It's a bit too far, that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, people who are saying he's being exposed are just fucking lemon. That's all it is, and just can't be asked to give any credit out.
Well, and if you say he has been exposed, all the other heavyweights other than Tyson Fury have been exposed a lot more. Like,
but yeah, that's the thing. Let's not go down that one. But look,
so everyone's exposed.
Yeah, you got to see a fucking. It was a more rounded view of what he can and can't do.
But if you're about to fight AJ now, you're a new fighter, or you're going to fight him, and you're sitting there with your trainer. You've got to be happy with what you've seen. there's something to work on now. You've got some like known facts now. So that's what I mean.
But there's also known facts the other way though now that he's obviously got a decent chin. He's obviously fucking got a fucking fair amount of art and bottle, and he's presenting a fucking lot of danger himself. So you might be able to see fucking chinks in the armour, but
you make him work.
You make him work. You leave yourself open, then, don't you?
I know what you're saying, but
that's the risk you're going to have to take. If you don't, you just wait for him to bulldoze you. There's stuff to work. Like Macho's right. If you're watching that, you don't go into that fight thinking I've got no fucking chance in hell. There's a way you can win. You're just going to have to be very good to do it.
Are there many fighters that you genuinely fucking think there's no way you can win? Because I don't think there are.
Well, no, of course, but
yeah,
you know what I mean, don't you? Like before, like people are writing off Wilder completely, and Wilder is shit, but you can't write him off completely. You can't write anyone off against him completely because he's got frailties that can be exposed if you're going to use the right game plan.
You know when he comes in and look at fucking the last few of his fights, his stoppages have been fucking shit. They shouldn't have been, some of them shouldn't have been stopped, and he's generally been behind or fucking only winning by a ball there. It's not like he's fucking absolutely destroying people. He's just about fucking getting the better of guys who are really shit. Like, fucking come on, man. If he's throwing a punch at fucking Joshua with both feet in air and a fucking double-decker bus in between his wingspan, he's going to get fucking hurt so badly, he's going to think he's... I'm not going to say what I was going to say. It's good to result myself. But, yeah, he's going to be in a bad play.
What was you going to say? You got to say it now.
But whatever. I think Parker will beat Bellew, and
I think it's Wlad next, and then Dillian White, and then the Klitschko rematch.
But what they've got to be careful of is...
Yeah, but Dillian White... So to cut you off, DJ, but Dillian White, remember, has fucking turned a lot of fucking people sour after the fucking Chisora palaver. So that's not going to be as easy a fucking sell now. What have you? Well,
to a lot of idiots that still like him.
Yeah, but remember when that you saw when that fight got announced, the fucking whack fight, that had a fucking bad response for Twitter, like.
Yeah, well, 0-2, that's got to be worst headlining fight of the 0-2 in history.
This might be a bit controversial. Sorry, TJ, I know you want to say something, but I actually think we've given Hearn a lot of stick before for not bringing his fighters up properly and not investing in his fighters. And what he's actually done with Dillian White, he's done the kind of opposite. He hasn't put his hand in his pocket to invest to bring a fighter over. He's put his hand in his pocket to present Dillian White as a headline act. So this is probably going to lose him money. And instead of buying an opponent, he's bought a venue. And this is all about getting him over as it's a wrestling term. He's getting him over as a big attraction, as a headliner. And I actually think if you look at, I don't like the fight. I think the fight's crap, but that is a good development fight for Dillian White. So I don't think we can sort of slate Hearn completely again. You're not developing these guys, but actually what he's done with White since Femi ain't that bad, and he's going to lose a shitload of money on this 0-2 fight. So I think he deserves a bit of credit.
Yeah, well,
what they've got.
I don't mind him losing money, but it's the fact that it's just, we all know that it's leading to the AJ fight eventually, because what else is he going to do with Dillian White? Like, he's going to send him over to America to lose to Wilder.
He could only do
it through the AJ rematch.
He could get beat off a whack. This is not out of the realms of possibility now. He could get beat off whack. There's only so much help that Hearn's going to be able to keep fucking doing with White, and it's going to run out very fucking quickly. Because he's getting worse. White is getting worse.
A matchroom fighter ain't losing on points, is he? Come on.
Just look, you can only. This is what I mean. You can only keep doing this shit for so long. So he might do, but then if he fights someone else, he's going to have to fucking help him out. Then you can't do it every fight. You can't keep doing it.
But what they've got to be careful of is that while the other belt holders, Wilder and Parker, are very beatable by less marketable guys. So they don't want to be. They've got to make those fights happen sooner rather than later, because they could be in a situation where there's another guy that they don't really want to bring over and won't sell. So they're in a bit of a difficult situation.
I don't really think Parker's that marketable.
Both those. I think White and Bellew could beat Wilder and Parker. I wouldn't be shocked
Yeah.
if in
Parker
80 months
is-
all the belts are with Matchroom.
Bellew.
Parker is grossly
Yeah.
underrated, man.
Fuck off.
Honestly. Oh, Bellew might have fucking... Because I did
Bellew
it.
can beat Parker, I think.
Not a chance.
I'm not backing against Bellew ever again.
Right, I'll tell you.
There's a lot of size difference between Bellew and fucking Parker.
Parker's a big fucking guy, and Parker can box, man. He's not just some fucking spooner. Look, would you have Bellew as a fucking big favourite to beat Takam? No, you wouldn't. Would you have Bellew as a favourite to beat fucking Ruiz? No, you wouldn't.
No.
So why would you have him as a favourite to beat fucking?
I didn't say
Parker?
he was
You
a favourite,
wouldn't.
but I wouldn't shock me
Yeah,
if he
but
beat
I mean,
him.
well-
I don't think Parker likes it. I think he's hiding some glass. I think he's a little bit.
Yeah, but
He kind of run from Ruiz. He don't like to stand in the pocket and engage. And I just wouldn't be shocked if Bellew just fucking plants his feet. You know, I've got a hard on for fucking fighters who just plant their feet, dip their head down, and just chuck a left hook. And
all right, and well, when he does that, because I think fucking Parker's a lot faster than Bellew. So if he
Got good
plants his
footwork.
feet,
Parker,
doing
one
that,
of
he's good at
Parker's
spinning.
strengths is he's got really fast hands.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like Ruiz have beat Bellew like pretty comfortably, I reckon. Ruiz just looks like a fucking fat lump, but he had fast hands, pretty decent fucking defense.
All right.
I think Parker just lacks that extra bit of power, but when you're fighting someone who's not an actual heavyweight, it won't really matter.
But anyway, we all done.
Bellew's power's been overhyped with the fucking Makabu win. Like he fucking took 3 years, didn't knock out Masternak, took 11 rounds to knock out a one-legged man. Obviously that other guy was fucking terrible, BJ Flores. He ain't got that. He's just landed one good punch in the last couple of years. And now he's
Yeah.
a big push.
He carries power, man.
I don't disagree with that, but when you've got a guy that's proved you wrong so many times, I just think I'm all in.
I'm
I'm on the Bellew hype train now.
I hope they bet that because I think they'll weight Parker like 2 or 3 to 1 because people are idiots over here at the minute. And they'll just swallow their own out, think, oh, he's beat it, and then boom.
Sorry, just one
Christmas
quick question
comes
before we move
early.
on for everyone. I did like that Wilder was over here, and I always pissed me off that Andre Ward didn't come over here for Foxgroves too. Is Hearn now the most powerful promoter in the world? Everyone's got to answer this.
Yeah, but I don't think so because Hearn's big here, but
In certain divisions, he would be, yeah, but not. I don't think. All things considered,
I think if you look at it and look at actual power without spelling it out, read between the lines, Bob's always going to be the man while he's still fucking breathing.
He's got that lizard blood, mate. He ain't going to die till he's about 800, is he? He's going to live forever, that cunt.
Sauerlands did 15,000 in Sofia this weekend.
Yeah, with fucking Kevin Johnson.
Yeah, so they can sell it.
Yeah, but how many's the O2 holes? The O2 holes like 18,000, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Exactly, fucking hell. But anyway.
Are we all done with this? Shall we move on to the Canelo circus?
Yeah, let's move on.
Has anyone got anything to talk about with the Canelo circus or not really?
In what sense?
Has anyone what?
Do any of you care about it or not really? Because I'm quite looking forward to the fight.
Yeah, I'm well
No,
excited.
but decent.
You would be because you suck off fucking Canelo.
I hate Canelo.
No, I think he's talented. What is your problem with that? I don't understand this. Why do you two chuckle brothers over there? Why do you hate Canelo as well? Are you racist against gingers now as well? Or is it because he's Irish and that's is it because he must have Irish blood and that's your problem?
No, you know what it is.
We know Ainsley doesn't like Irish people.
He might have like a quarter gypsy in him or something. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
You know what it is? I used to work in South Africa in the prisons, right? And I was working on the wing that Pistorius were fucking held on, and I seen a guy nick his prosthetic legs and offer him out. So they were fucking sparring, and I just pulled Oscar to one side. He goes, "Your footwork completely reminds me of Canelo," and he thought I was complimenting him. I was really just saying how bad Canelo is.
Cool story, bro.
I can't see anyone can not like this fight. I think it's great.
I don't.
It's horrendous. It's absolutely horrendous.
What's wrong with it? It's a great fight.
It's not a great fight.
It is.
Chavez is going to be dead.
Well, that's
on
the question.
scales.
Do we think he will make weight or will he die trying to make weight?
I reckon it comes in at about 165, 166.
I said he'd be £2 over, so he'd pay $2 million.
Yeah, so that's 165, 66.
How much is he getting paid?
A lot, I'd imagine.
Like, if he's getting paid 10 million, I'd come in £5 over and win. Give him 5 million back, and then you're the man.
The key here is there's no rehydration clause. So, fucking Junior could easily be fucking over 190 Saturday. And that's the
I think sometimes we take shit too seriously. This is a fun fight. We should enjoy this. This is just fun.
But this is the only reason I've got any interest in this fight, mainly, is one, there's a chance of Oscar and Canelo fucking crying like bitches. The main one is it's going to be fucking interesting to see how shit Canelo is when he's fucking fighting a guy who's not fucking 30 pounds smaller than him, providing that the weight hasn't absolutely ruined Chavez. But
I think the issue is with someone like Canelo is the hype 2 years ago or 3 years ago, that wasn't where he was at. But sometimes if you forget that, you can't say that he hasn't improved since then. And I think
that's my entire point.
He's a good fighter. I like him. Not like him much more now than I did 2 years ago.
Yes, this is my point. If you take all the bullshit away and you just watch his fights, I'm not saying he's the best thing ever, because he's obviously not. But he's fun to watch and he has got talent. You can't deny that. Yeah, that's the only point I'm trying to make, and then you two fucking idiots jump on it straight away.
No, he's a good fighter. He's quick. He throws good combinations. He's got really good punch variety. He throws nice uppercut, nice hooks to the body. He's a good counter puncher. He's got a nice jab, bit flat-footed at times. Can be a bit of a plodder. He's a good fighter. He's a good offensive fighter. He's a good offensive fighter.
Jesus Christ, man! You know what? Fucking hell! When he fought Liam Smith, there should have been concrete companies sponsoring him. Like fuck.
Yeah, he just didn't
care
about Liam Smith. He did not care about
Jesus, the footwork in that fight.
Yeah, but he didn't need to worry about it. But he's still got decent defense. His defense underrated, all things considered.
His power's fucking grossly overrated.
Again,
he's a bit like Femi. He looks like he hits fast, snappy.
Femi, it's harder than
him getting the highlight reel knockouts against Khan, and was it Kirkle in the highlight reel as well? When it doesn't help people's perception of power. Because you chat them in a little YouTube video clip and people are like, fucking hell, he must hit the hardest in the sport. But we know that's not true. So I don't know why you get worked up over people's opinions. It doesn't matter. I don't know what they're talking about.
People who see one thing on Twitter, talking about say it.
You see one thing on Twitter and that's it. You have this opinion in your head that everyone else thinks the same.
Yeah, it's the masses. Yeah, everyone.
Yeah, but it ain't true.
There's plenty of people who fucking hold the opinion that Canelo's this fucking destructive puncher.
Well, everyone you're talking to on this line now doesn't think that. So why do you need to bring it up to us?
I think you do deep down, but you're just pretending.
No, I don't.
Has Chavez got a new trainer for this fight?
He's with what's his face? Al Bernstein. Al Bernstein.
Oh my god!
Fucking Nacho Berenstein.
Oh my god!
His strength and conditioning coach has got an interesting background.
What memo?
Good lad, him.
Yeah.
Is that who he's moved at?
Yeah, he'll get him up to £200 fight night.
That's gonna be quite. I just think Chavez.
He's going to be absolutely like. He's going to literally. Is there VADA for this fight?
They've said they've tested them, but only pisses thing.
Yeah, Gomez said urine tests are more important, which is obviously not true. But there we go. What is your predictions then?
I don't know. Go to everyone else first and then I think.
Ainsley, do you think the massive punch in Canelo will stop him? Without Bernstein in the opposite corner?
I don't know. I think Al with his dulcet tones will fucking... I don't know. It really depends.
Got Al Bernstein and Berenstein. I was pretty close, right?
But it's not. One's a fucking Mexican with a little fucking porn tash in their hair.
They've both got moustaches.
One's a white American with white hair who's...
Do they both have moustaches?
They're probably both fiddlers, to be fair, aren't they?
Fucking hell.
Well,
Brian's not on. We don't need to fucking go down that road.
No, for the 100th episode, we're going to review Mike Tyson's new book about how Gus helped him in and out the ring. So you can all look forward to that. I don't think Canelo will stop him personally. I think it'll be a 12-round decision, but Chavez will get the shit beaten out of him in the later rounds when he's completely empty. Maybe he might get saved by his corner, but I don't think there'll be enough to stop it by the ref.
Honestly, don't count out this size thing, because just think Canelo has been massive against everyone. And it's a big fucking difference when you go from... Because he's essentially jumping like fucking 3 weight divisions, even though he isn't, and he's getting someone to fucking pretty much exercise themselves to fucking... Not as in fitness exercise, I mean as in fucking death. But like...
If you set aside the memo thing and the fact that Chavez Jr. gives 0 fucks about anything, that's why I like him. You'd have to go, I think anyway, Canelo stoppage. He's a good body puncher, Canelo, and you've got to think that it's going to absolutely kill Chavez to make that weight. So I'd fancy Canelo.
Chavez has been fucking training like fuck though. He's actually looks like he's taking it serious. And don't forget,
he's training to lose weight, not to prepare for a fight.
He looks like Skeletor.
And don't forget that Chavez brother just iced Canelo's brother.
Omar?
Yeah.
Have you seen the photo of Chavez Senior celebrating that?
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
It's like that. He looks got a mental, isn't he?
Yeah.
Carl,
you picking Chavez, Andy? Say that again. He's Ainsley picking Chavez?
No, I don't know. I don't want to make a pick until Friday afternoon because I'm leaving it as late as possible.
Just do what Shep does and pick everything.
No, but if I think Chavez doesn't look that bad, I'm going to put some money on him.
Okay, well, give us what your 3 cards will probably read then.
Well, I reckon Chavez will get 2 knockdowns. 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 9th. But I still reckon one judge will have it 119, 109 Canelo, which would be impossible, but still be done. 114, 112, and 115, 111.
That's good cards. I wouldn't be disappointed with them. The 119, 109 is probably the most realistic one.
Oh, dear.
Carl, what about you? What are you saying?
I think it'll be points. You've got Fonfara was at 175, weren't it? And Fonfara's fucking big. So I'm wiping that one out. He's only ever been all right when he's a lot bigger than who he's fighting, and he's going to be a lot bigger than him. So I think he'll be able to last the distance. He might have a few good rounds in there.
Ainsley.
Win a round.
Ainsley, do you like Chavez because he beat up a proud Irishman, Andy Lee?
No, I just like... Yeah, but you know me, he's like certain guys are just like because they don't give a fuck. And Chavez is just like the ultimate, like, I don't give a fuck.
This is a question. When have we seen the best Chavez Jr.? What fight would you say?
Round 12 against fucking
Sergio
Martinez. Yeah.
I've said this before on here, but I watched that back quite a bit. It's one of my favourite fights, even though 11 rounds of it are pretty shit. But in that 12th round, I'm still not sure if Sergio's going to make it through.
I like Chavez Jr. considering he had no amateur experience. He trains in his fucking pants and he's sitting there eating fucking hula hoops and stuff, whatever he's like fucking Cheerios or whatever. Yeah, you just think there's a guy. To be fair, he's got a chin. He's got natural talent. If he wasn't such a fucking waster, he could probably be really good. I kind of really like him, and I hope he does really well because he just gives 0 fucks and he's good value.
You would think with a bit of national pride on the line, and they don't get on the pair of them. They're both Mexicans. When you get that, you tend to get a good fight.
Do they not like each other in these two?
No, they've got like a bit of a rivalry. Not
beef.
Oh, it's massively intense beef, mate. Coogan and James actually sorted the beef out. They was the ones who instigated it.
Could someone give us a Coogan rant about his meltdown?
Oh, can't be arsed. Let's not going about fucking that shit, man. It's well annoying.
Well, actually, Cal, do you want to enlighten the listeners to the surprise phone call you received the other day, and then we'll call this a day?
Well, yeah, he rang me on Saturday morning. Have you got a problem? No, like, I went through like what I didn't like about all the fucking WWE stuff and how like he don't ask them proper questions and blah blah blah. And then we ended up having like a fucking 50-minute chat, and he was telling me all about why Bonte's fucked him over and. He was moaning about that, and then he said he wasn't even going to bother going. He went to watch with Adam Booth, I think, and that kid who he pulled off the card. Yeah, he actually seemed all right when I was talking to him after a while, but he says he's going to start asking better questions about stuff other than that, but he says basically he needs to keep the relationships up with the promoters, so he's not going to ever ask what we want him to ask, and he's never going to. No, just like, well, fair enough.
How did he get your number?
Fuck knows. Little rat.
We think it's Rocco.
Right. But he seemed all right.
How long was he on the phone? 50 minutes?
50.
Could you not get rid of him?
Well, I weren't really doing it. I was just sat at home, so I wasn't that bothered. But he said he wants to get that Ren, which is always music to my ears because he's a proper cunt.
Right, wait, if you want Coogan's number, Cal, we're going to put Cal's PayPal in the description of the YouTube video. So if you want Coogan's number, chuck £5 in the PayPal, you can get Coogan's number. And for a tenner, you can have Hearn's as well because we also got that.
Oh yeah, you can have that as well.
And I'll tell you what, if you do a tenner, we'll give you Frotch's and Frotch's brother free of charge. So that's 4 numbers, £10.
We should just set up a Patreon, right? And then just have it like anyone who fucking does a tenner a month gets like a celebrity fucking involved with boxing fun.
We did a Patreon before and someone put $4 to it, didn't they? Whatever the fuck that was. But anyways, is that us done? Anyone got any last
I just want to say about that looks all right. That's like the closest one in the betting. Other than that, it's kind of showcases a Matisse.
The Matisse fight's not that bad.
Yeah, Matisse's on that card, isn't he?
Was he fighting?
Yeah, that's not bad.
Did you see fucking this morning tweeted saying that he'll fight John Molina or
I bet he fucking will.
Granados. Granados would absolutely fucking beat the piss out of him.
Who's his best win now? Derry Matthews?
Probably Scarpa. No, Scarpa was probably a better win, I would have thought.
What? Who's best win with John Wayne Ibbott?
Well, I mean, yeah, only because of the fact that Derry was completely shot.
That's what I mean. Like, what's he even doing calling these people? It's ridiculous.
He's fucking such a bit.
Sam, do you remember when you asked me who was...
What was that, mate?
Sorry. Remember, Sam, when you said he was the worst hated? Oh, God, sorry, I'm shut up.
No, carry on. What was you saying?
Are you talking to me or Cal?
You.
Remember when you asked me, you said who was the most hated? And you was like, oh, it's definitely fucking Charlie Edwards, not Howard Davis. That was schoolboy. Just thought I wanted to say that.
All right, cheers for that. Cal, carry on.
No, I don't think he's got to win at British level. So it does wind me up when people call people out. They've got no business being anywhere near a ring with them, and it's just all hot air. And Eddie Hearn's never going to get any of them over, and fucking Tony Sims ain't going to let him go over to America to fight either of them. So what's the point? It's all a load of shit.
They put an offer in for Josh Taylor, according to Hearn.
Bollocks.
Yeah, well, we was told by someone who claims to know, but whether they do or not is a different story, that the offer was so small they know that Josh Taylor's team would just refuse it anyway. So there's the story of that one.
And we know Frampton's next fight it's that Hunter who fought Selby.
Now you've just dropped us.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Fuck's sake, man.
It's not. It's definitely not. It's Tevin Farmer. Right, anyway, that's us done, yeah?
Yeah, let's fucking kill it. Right.
All right, so look forward to speaking to you all again after the Canelo